your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes. Cause I'm KRS and I'm on the mic and premieres on the breaks.
Yeah, so yo, to the Polish chapter, Zulu Nation, all day and all night. Look at what I got. Niceness. But now here's the point. We got to get organized, and you know what it is. Organize, organize, organize. Zulu Nation worldwide, y'all know what it is. We need to come up a little bit on that membership, you know, in terms of organizing the financial economics of Zulu Nation itself. This is where the next step is supposed to go. I'm speaking on behalf of Zulu Nation in terms of, how would I say, the original mission that BAM set down when we was in Latin Quarters in 1987. We had a meeting where BAM sat everybody down and he said, this is what we were supposed to be doing with hip-hop. Hip-hop is a global culture. It's not just music. We're still looking at it like music. A lot of Zulu members still looking at it like music. Hip-hop is nowhere near music. BAM called it a planet rock, where everybody around the globe was supposed to get in on the culture. So now that the culture is global and it is corporate, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to make sure it remains a culture? Nothing wrong with the corporate, and I say that respectfully. There is nothing wrong with the corporate end of what we do. If you're good at what you do, you're gonna be corporate, okay? But on the other level of it, of course, is when you go corporate and you go too far over, you can lose your soul. And that's what's happening to a lot of people. Not you listening to me, of course. But those out there, you know what I'm talking about. You run for the money, you run for this, and you lose your soul. This is a culture. This is people. This is soul. This is realness. Now that hip-hop exists, it will never not exist. So start seeing yourself as an ancestor now. Herc, BAM, Flash, those are the founders right there. But their hip-hop no longer exists. The hip-hop of Kool Herc is gone. Then came Africa Bambaataa. The hip-hop of Africa Bambaataa, gone. Then came Grandmaster Flash. Sugar Hill, Treacherous 3, gone. Then came Run DMC, LL Cool J, Houdini, Fat Boys, gone. Then came Roxanne Shante, Marley Marl, Biz, Kane, gone. KRS, Ultramagnetic MCs, Queen Latifah, gone. West Coast came, NWA, Too Short, gone. South came, and you know everybody there. Start with shout out to Andre 3000, Outkast, my man Little John, blew up South, gone. Every 10 years, hip-hop changes. Nas said hip-hop was dead, and he was right for his time. But hip-hop could never die. Rap is what dies, comes back, dies, come back. Graffiti writing never died. Breaking never died. DJing is bigger than ever. So how can hip-hop be dead? It's not. But we understand what Nas was saying. The hip-hop that we are experiencing today is not the hip-hop that we started and grew up with. And why is it not? Because the innovation, you need innovation. You gotta have new blood and new technologies and new things going on. But if you lose your soul, if you lose where you came from, when I was coming up, my first record, South Bronx, the first hit record, South Bronx, I felt it was my duty to first give the history of hip-hop before I even opened my mouth. I was looking for respect. How am I gonna grab the mic with no respect? So first, it was way back in the days when hip-hop began with Cochla Rock, Kool Herc, and then BAM. B-boys ran to the latest jam. When it got shot up, they went home and said, damn! And we started there. So if you don't show respect to the elders, to the founders, how can you be innovative? Those who are just innovating with no respect to the founders, what are you really doing? So I just say, with all due respect, This is on a higher level of respect. And I totally, this is what it is. And my man came to Poland, I came to Poland, and he met me there, and I still got the pictures, came with a plaque, everything. It was hot. It was the rawness. And to go to another country and be greeted by hip hop, that's what the vision that Bam had in store when he talked about hip hop as a global movement. And what a prophet Bam is. Bam, if you're listening, what a prophet you were in that sense, to see hip hop globally when it was just in the Bronx. See, it's easy for us now to think about hip hop, oh, it's all over. But when it was just in the Bronx, Bam was talking then. I'll tell you one quick story and I'm out. We was in 1994, the Schomburg Center. We did a meeting of the mind at the Schomburg Center. Bam, Flat, actually Grand was at Theodore, Herc, Crazy Legs, a couple other people as well, most of the guys from the 90s. Right there, Bam told us, we was arguing over how we was gonna get on television when the television was only 13 channels. Now, for the young people listening, television used to be a box with a knob on it, and it had 13 channels, and every other channel is what worked. 2, 4, and 5, skip 6, 7, 9, 11, and 13. Those were the channels that worked. Now, Bam at this time was telling us, he said in the future, there's gonna be TVs with 500 channels on them. We couldn't even comprehend what he was saying. We couldn't even, what do you mean TVs with 500 channels? What do you mean? But this is what it means to have a prophetic mind, to be able to see into the future and warn your people in the present and say, get ready, you're arguing over little scraps, this and that. We're about to go to the moon. Hip hop is gonna be on other planets, in other dimensions. We're scrapping over little things. So this is what I say to Zulu Nation out there. You are prophets. The organization you're part of is not just some rap or breaking organization. This is what held hip hop together long before everybody's organization, Temple of Hip Hop Congress, before all of that, okay? Before anybody was thinking about anything, Zulu Nation existed, and it existed for the future of hip hop. It wasn't right there. Bam's in 123 Park with Jazzy J, and they talking about, yeah, we're gonna be in 123. No, they was talking about 123 Park, and Bam said, we know a place where the lights are hot. The funk will never end. He was talking about the future. This is Planet Rock. He's talking about the future. When you look at Soul Sonic Force, do you know what a Soul Sonic Force is? That right there should tell you what hip hop really is. A soul sonic vibrational sound force. Soul Sonic Force. And in the Soul Sonic Force, there's a dude named Powwow. My good buddy Powwow. He used to dress like a Native American. This is before anybody even said the word Native American, before it was cool to say Native American. Bam was coming out similar to Parliament Funkadelic, who influenced him a great deal. Kraftwerk influenced Bam a great deal. So Bam would come out in these futuristic outfits, crazy stuff they had on. But Powwow was the Native American Indian. And we used to look at that like, what would it have been like to have Native Americans running around? And keep in mind, Powwow's a black man. So that shed another light on it too, because Bam is always talking about Africa. Look at his name, Africa Bambaataa. Bam is always talking about his blackness. But the deeper you go into blackness, you go into humanity. The deeper into humanity, you go into soul. No color on that, no culture on that, no age on that, no class, not even religion. Nothing's on that. It's soul sonic forces. Now, you could either be of the flesh, or you could be a soul sonic force. I'm a soul sonic force. I exist in several dimensions at once. This is what I learned from BAM. Right thinking, right actions, right attitude, right speech, right eating, right. The infinity lessons, that's what I learned. And this is what took me from being in the shelter to being with you right now with this on my neck. Right now, yes, get a closer look at it. Get a close-up on it. Yeah, that's what it is. And that's why when we wrote the Gospel of Hip Hop, we quoted BAM in it. In the book itself, quoted BAM right here. In actually it's the 13th chapter. Well, I can't even see it, I need my glasses. But if you have a copy of the Gospel, we quoted the 1994 meeting word for word into the Gospel, so people will forever remember what BAM said. He said we need professionalism. We was arguing in the meeting. BAM had to come and say, everybody shut up. We need professionalism right now. What was professionalism? Yo, you got to be able to go into the corporate world with your culture on. Another dude named Professor Z used to talk about this. He said, when having intercourse with corporations, use your culture as a condom. Take that in. That's what this is. And this was inspired by BAM. So big up to Africa Bambaataa, big up to Zulu Nation. This is what kept hip hop alive. This was keeping hip hop alive on a whole nother level. I'm right now in Wiesbaden. You said it was, say it again?
Wiesbaden.
See, I knew you had a V in there. See, okay. It's Wiesbaden. See, it says W. I'm going Wiesbaden. No, Wiesbaden.
Heinerberg.
Wiesbaden. So I'm here in Germany, Wiesbaden right now, and I'm holding the Gospel of Hip Hop, and Zulu Nation is greeting me here. That's global culture. That's called civilization. That's what it's called. Peace. God, this is my man right here.
Yes.
And look at that Slavic.
Zulu Nation.
Ooh.
Zulu Nation.
Look at that. This has a whole history, the Slavic people.